my experience to help teach you, not in a sage way, a sage archetype way, which is more educational and more like from a point of view of knowledge, but this is from an experience point of view. So I'm gonna come next to my best friend. I'm gonna come next to my family member. I'm gonna say, hey, I like wine. I think you might enjoy what I like, or you're interested in wine. I happen to know about it. Come, let's do this together. That changed everything for us, for them, because we're able to then say, okay, well, then you're gonna speak this way. Your colors are probably going to be these types of colors. Your font selection, your typography is probably going to be in this lane, this line of thinking. So then what you have at the end is this kind of collection of ideas stemming from your core personality trait, your core archetype, which then you can start building around that. And what happened to them was it changed how they speak to people. Their voice and tone documents changed. We rewrote everything. They avoided certain words. They talked in a certain way. And if you can think about how you speak to people, you can speak energetically or enthusiastically or derogatorily, or you can speak, sarcastically. There's so many different ways, character traits mapped to a voice and tone document. And we said, we're going to take this lane because this is what a companion would do. This is how they would speak. So their emails are written that way, subject lines, business cards, website, product naming, everything comes from that. And when you're able to do that, and it is a vulnerable process as well, because you're asking a company to strip down all the stuff around them to get down to the core and say, okay, why did you start this company? What do you hope to achieve? What's your future purpose? What's your mission as a business? And you get through all that stuff, and you can boil away all that extra and you find the meat of it. Then you can go, wow, that's powerful. And then you do that brand exercise that we do, which we do very well. And you come out the other end with something where you map your purpose to a way you speak to people or the way you see the world. And then you wrap all of that in the aesthetics and the design, the creative, if you will. And then you create something which is untouchable. And you were kind enough in the intro to say that we kind of find open spots in the marketplace, open gaps in the marketplace, and it's ownable, and we can own that. If you can do that well, what I just outlined for the IGT company, then no one can touch you. You've owned this space. No one's going to come in and speak the same way as you because you're already there doing it. They might take another tack, another archetype. And you see this all the time. You see brands that come in trying to do what the other brand's doing, they will always fail. But if they come in with a separate point of view, where they see the world from a different angle, they talk in a different way, they're not only going to attract a different user, but they're not going to compete solely on the product. Might compete. Coke and Pepsi might compete on a product level, but how they speak to their consumers is fundamentally different. And if you can own that separate space, then you can own that share of the market. And that's really great. So it's kind of this long red thread that goes from the origin of the brand, the origin of the company, all the way through talking to a consumer or customer. And at that point, if you can do it well, and you can adhere to the brand, and that's very important. You adhere to the brand. That's why we have brand standards, brand guidelines, to make sure you don't deviate for how you speak. Then you have an opportunity to win. That's where it becomes really, really fun for us.
Yeah, I love it that we talked about being human from the beginning, and what is branding, how do you do business, and how do you do the work process. And it's all related to the fact that even the brand is an archetype of a person, a
Yep.
type and subtype. And the way that you communicate is like a person to the end customer, which is a person, and you communicate in visuals, in creative ways, but you still do create communication. And in the end, if it works, you could relate to it. You have this emotional connection to this brand. It's like closing what we talked about from the beginning till now, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that is ultimately where it's not only fun, but magical. So it's fun for us to do. We own it ourselves because there's not many folks who do exactly how we do it. It's fun for the brand, but it's also effective. And they actually can advance their position in the marketplace because of the work we do. So you're really tying in all the best things of life. You're helping people, you're doing it with other people you really care about, you're having a fun experience, but you're doing it well in a way that you can help people achieve their goals. And that's just really fun.
Wow, sounds really fun. Maybe I'll come to work with you next time.
You're
So
welcome.
tell me, sure. So where could people hear more about what you're doing and contact you?
Yeah, we're able to be found at thebrandleader.com, and you can just search for the brand leader or go to thebrandleader.com. You can see our work there. You can see a little bit of our process and how we do things. You can see all of our amazing staff, and you can also just send us a note if you want to.
Oh, thank you, Kai. It's been a pleasure talking to you. It's lots of fun. And I really love the fact that we didn't talk about only like technical, educational stuff, but things that are
Yeah,
related to the heart. So thank you. And to all of
my
you
pleasure.
change makers, thank you. And to all of you change makers out there, thank you for joining me. And if you want to learn more about what I do, go to invincibleinnovation.com, and I'll see you next week with about another innovative, insightful talk. See ya.